I hope everyone is well. Let's put some links up here. Let's see. Let everybody get in here. Copy link. It is a warm one today. There's the picture of rocks. Turn that down so there's no echo. Let's do a comment. Go there. And let's pin message. There you go. Oh man. We are in the truck. I will not reveal where I'm at because I don't want anybody to know my secrets. The Great Wall of Snorelord, yes. Yep, we're gonna put some paper towel right there. That truck looks fancy. We had a pork roast for dinner. Oh, let's grab the desk. Obviously not the whole thing, but most of it. Well, half of it, I guess. So yeah, we are live. We're back to work. Well, I've been working. I took a load from Joplin to Columbus, and then I took a load from Columbus to Joplin. And then I grabbed the load that's going up in northern Missouri. And then from there, I got a load going back to, you guessed it, Joplin. No, Springfield. Yeah, something like that. And so, short game is still doing pretty good. I noticed that, well, I mean, really nothing's changed since I've been gone. I know that some rates in some places have dipped a little bit, but not much. I go by the 30-day average on the DAP board, and it seems to be a spike, so it's hard to get them at that 30-day. But I get what I need, and I've been rolling. I've been able to book ahead. Other than today, I did book a load at the last minute today, but it took like 2 seconds, and then once I picked that up, then I was able to book tomorrow's load. So we are doing pretty good. So it's good to be making money. It's good to be in the positive again. In this market, it doesn't take long to catch up, a month and a half. So, oh man. So, but it does feel good to be working. You know, the trucks, we've had a heck of a week. I think I talked about that on Saturday. But knock on wood, the truck is doing well. And I am loving all the new stuff I've done to my truck. I got new tires. I even got new wheels. And I've got new spring hangers. And I got new tie rods. And this truck's smooth as glass coming down. So that's been good. The shake was getting so bad that I couldn't even do a GoPro video, because the GoPro video would have been like, not that I would have done a GoPro video recently. I tried to do one, but I don't know. I gotta get my camera situation under control, because I would like to do more recorded vlogs versus just do them on the phone. I would like to have good audio to do it. So I don't know. I'm in this limbo state still with everything. Everything in my life's in limbo right now. So, all right, let's do some shout outs. We've got Nittany Lion, good evening. Something, Other Trucker James Best, Don Shonger, Donnie Luke. Ogar, what's up? TJ Jones, The Great Wall of Snorelord. Daycab Gear Jammer, what's up? Grafton, Bob G, what's up? Good to see you're working, thank you. Anthony Bressler, Overtax, Minnesota. TA is closing almost all their restaurants, not that we care. Well, I do kind of care because, well, I like the iron skillets. Their breakfast buffet to go was excellent for a keto guy because I would just take a container, load up with egg, sausage, hamburger patties, and whatever stuff they had. Throw in the container, pay about $10, throw it in the fridge, eat it for my lunch, or well, my first meal of the day. And the TA though, the country, whatever it was called, country kitchen, those have been going downhill for quite a while. I think the last one I ate was the one in Effingham, or was that a skillet? I don't know, I get them mixed up. Maybe the one in New Braunfels. But you know, some had buffets, some didn't. But yeah, it's been the chain restaurants. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about chain restaurants. I have mixed feelings about all restaurants, to be honest with you. But some people do care, Dave. Don't be so mean. John Armstrong, what's up? I'll give away my secret. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. Way out of my element. Donnie Luke. Well, good deal. Here in Oakland, California, in the real ghetto. Well, don't get robbed. Pale Rider TV is in the house. Daniel Ladami is in the house. Big Houston. Jason Perry. We talk about the restaurant thing. That's why I think it's important to have food on the truck. And we can talk about that a little bit. So the Wapakoneta TA, that restaurant's still open. All the ones that had independent restaurants are still open. But the country kitchens, those have been gone since COVID. They were on life support anyways. If they would at least put something in versus just having it closed and not having any options, like the TA in Oklahoma City, the one on Morgan Road, that one they never, all they have there is Popeyes, which Popeyes is no bueno for the keto thing. And so yeah. Now, I think the independent restaurant at the TA on Council Road, I think that's still open, maybe. So, Big Rig Radio Network says, another DOT this time in New Mexico. Did we pass? Did we do good? Let's see. You get sick of the fast food crap. Absolutely. You know, and then you've got like IHOP or Denny's, which there's more continuity with those places, but that's getting pricey. Eating out is getting pricey now. Even the chain restaurants have upped their prices. It's look, inflation's here, and it's in our food, right? And that's why it's important to have food in the truck. I understand that some people don't want inverters, some people can't have inverters. I understand that buying a fridge can be impossible, but you know, you can buy an Alpi-Cool for about $200, and you can buy some canned goods, and then you know the Hot Logic Mini can be powered by one of them 80 watt or 150 watt inverters that you just plug in your 12 volt. You know, buy some wipes, and you can pretty much, you know, the Alpi-Cool is a true fridge versus a Coleman cooler. And even if you do canned goods, you know, it's getting expensive. You know, I talked to a friend of mine today that gets Uber Eats almost everywhere he parks, and I'm like, that's got to be costing you money. And even if you do $10 a day on a 30-day month, that's $300 a month. So I guarantee you, if you're not eating out of the truck, it's hard to stay at $10 a day. So, but yes, James Best is right. You do get sick of the fast food crap. You leave tomorrow, Daniel. Good deal. I just uploaded a short video about Country Pride being closed. Yes, I saw the headline. I did not watch it yet, Pale Rider. I will watch it as soon as this video is done. Been driving 18 years and never until now been to Charleston. I got a load out of the house for 275 miles and 1,100 miles. Good deal, Daniel. Oh, the Council Road TA is still closed. Well, that sucks. I thought they were an independent place. All right. Good deal on the DOT there, Jeff. Good deal. New contractors getting the bonus already. Good deal. 14-ounce ribeye and eggs, $20.99 with water in North Carolina last Friday. And you know, this is how weird ribeye prices are. So, my wife and I, we went to a steak place for our anniversary. And the amount of money I paid for my steak wasn't much higher than if I went to Walmart and bought all the ingredients. Especially on the ribeye. Beef is getting crazy expensive. And I'm still primarily carnivore. I probably would call it more of the ketovore thing if we have to put a stupid label on it, which is 90% meat and maybe some vegetables here and there. But meat is getting stupid, so it's going to be, majority of my meat is going to be hamburger or pork. So let's see, but yeah, it's almost to the point now. Pretty soon that ribeye price is going to up on the restaurants. It already started to. Uber Eats is stupid expensive. I agree. I miss the old hole in the wall choke and puke mom and pop type diners. You know, even they have raised their prices. I was in Cuba, Missouri, and I walked in and looked at Dottie's restaurant, and I just kind of walked out. Nothing looked good. It was packed. It just didn't have a good vibe anymore. My next load after this one pays $2,000 for 762 miles. Good deal. Let's see, $5,000 for a 4-day work week. Good deal. Let's see, Public Lands meat is on the menu. Here be dragons. I broke down and bought the quarter cow for $625. Yeah, we're looking at getting another freezer, James, and then we're gonna start doing that. Old fat white guy, what's up? So it was funny. I've been following all these carnivore channels, and it's tough to eat healthy. I definitely agree with that. Now Sean Baker says eat what you can afford, but it's to the point that we're still at the point where a salad is way more than, you know, 2 double quarter pounders. I have steaks all the time. Love buying whole hogs and cows. Cool. And I believe if you wrap it correctly, it'll last 2 years in the freezer. I came across one of those liquidation, you know, damaged freight places there in Ozark, Missouri, and they had meat that was like a month old, but it was all frozen. And it was ridiculously cheap, but I don't know. Kind of leery on expired meat. So. But we are getting in a groove again, truck's running great, and rates are good. think I got $5 a mile for this load. And my 7 day is not bad. So not bad at all. If I can do another good 7 days like that, I'll be close to my minimum. Close. That's not bad for being off half the month. There are some things that are coming down price-wise, that price gouge, like Freedom Pills. Those are like back to almost normal prices. And hamburger's actually gone down a little bit, I think. But, you know. How much weight have you lost so far? Drop and hook, 120 pounds. And I will say this: it's not about losing weight; it's about feeling better. Weight loss is just secondary. Weight loss is just one of the positive results that you might have. It's about feeling better. Even if you don't lose a pound, you'll feel better. Your inflammation will go away, almost, most of it. And you'll have more energy. You'll have more motivation. You'll have more focus. I can't even begin to talk to you about how much focus. Now, I will say this. So when we went to the steak place, I did order for us an appetizer that was breaded shrimp, okay? And we had wine. And I tell you what, Saturday night, well, okay, we did that Saturday night. Saturday night, I had some beer as well. And we slept 5 hours. And then I was tired all day Sunday. And Sunday night, went to bed and slept a straight 7 hours without waking up. Well, I did wake up once or twice, but not for very long. I was wiped out. And it hurt to get up. So I could definitely feel the negative effects of foods when I reintroduced them. So, like, you know what? We're back to the way we need to be. Fruit Loops, cigars, and pizza, little biking coach. You ought to do that. I see a parody that you could probably do with that. Lumber's supposed to go down, but it has, you know, I haven't looked. Crackheads make the world go around. I don't know about that. So, but you know, a lot of people don't like you talking about health because they don't want to get healthy, or they think that you got to be perfect, and you don't. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be better than you were the day before. Dealing with cravings and all that's the most challenging thing you will face. I will say this though, I wasn't hungry for most of Sunday, so. But I'm seeing some headlines that don't make me feel warm and fuzzy. Now I will say this: Christmas parade is rolling, people. How do I know that? Every year there are loads that come out in Neosho, Missouri. That's number one. They've started. Number two is Walmart has started putting the drop containers on their parking lots. So be aware of that if you park at a Walmart. And there are several reports that they are ordering Christmas stuff now because they can't afford to have that on back order by the time they need it. So they're trying to get as much now. So if you're expecting a big spike in September, it ain't going to happen. It's going to go gradually over time because most retailers are ordering their Christmas stuff now. I've been right on the money on that prediction every year, even with COVID. So Now, if you haul raw materials, or if you're flatbed, or if you haul nothing but Pepsi or something like that, then that probably doesn't affect you. But if you haul a lot of retail items, that stuff is shipping out. Let's see. Yesterday I spent $200 on step springers and the steps and built steps from the back door of my mobile home. I was exhausted. Christmas in July. It rained here yesterday. You may get a storm in a few days. We had some thunderstorms kind of popping up here and there. Most of those containers are for layaway storage. Yep, that's true. Let's see. Let's take a look at the weather. Let's see if Little Viking Coach is right about the rain. There's a bunch of little popcorn storms popping up. Stuff like that. I don't know if we'll get rain tonight or not. So weather with Snorelord. So if you guys look at the pinned message, that's some apnea. Feel free to, if you're a metalhead, go to Bandcamp, download some songs, help a man out, help get some music out there. Rain here in July is almost unheard of. It's funny watching cops ride their motorcycles in the rain. Shot card is coming to play. VA is requiring all VA employees to get the vaccine. All right, so we can talk about that. So I got to be very careful, though. Don't want the Google gods to think that I'm being an extremist. France, I saw a headline that France is now requiring, what was the, let's do this. Headline, France approves new law requiring proof of vaccination. It is a federal offense here, I believe. They've made it a federal offense to have a faked vax card. They're now mandating it for hospitals. Ask me how I know. And I believe if you want to get a real ID, I think you have to have it as well. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll see what happens if the public gets pushed too far on the ones that don't want it. We'll see what happens. You had 5 tornadoes in mid-Michigan. Yeah, it seems like the tornado alley's kind of shifted a little bit. I've seen Walmarts with 53 trailer in the dock just for bicycles. Yeah, I used to build them bicycles. Overseas, shot card is required to eat in restaurants. There's a YouTube channel that I've listened to called We Are Change. And they've put up footage of a lot of protests that are going on in Europe, both in France and Italy. There's a lot of things going on in South Africa and Haiti, and then Cuba, of course. Things are getting interesting without being all doom and gloomy, which I was accused of today. And I'm always doom and gloom. I believe in observing. So I've been watching this World War II documentary, and there's a guy named, it's interviews with about 12 people from World War II. Some of them are still alive. And of course, the ones that aren't alive, they narrate, you know. They have actors narrating. And this guy named Hans Werner, makes me wonder if he's related to Werner in the trucking world. But he was a Jew, and when Hitler came to power, he made it illegal for Jews to have businesses. And his dad got fired from his job. He was very observant. He saw the writings on the wall, right? This is 1939. And because he was observant, there was one day that this person was singing basically a song that wasn't in their favor, the Jewish favor, and he immediately pulled all of his savings and came to America. Before everything hit the fan. Okay? Now, when it comes to business, when it comes to trucking, when it comes to social issues, when it comes to what's going on in the news, when it comes to what's not going on in the news, situational awareness, bug out plan, plan B, plan C, plan D, worst case scenario kind of thing. Always have that in the back of your mind, so you don't have that panic point. And that's it. That's all you can do. You cannot control everything around you. You can only control how you react to it. Doesn't matter if you live in a small town. Doesn't matter if you live in a large city. There's still things that you have to be aware. You know, when it comes to businesses, it's going to be helpful to have a plan B, or to be able to pivot, depending on what your kind of business you have, if 2.0 happens. Which right now, I'm kind of guessing in 2.0 is going to have to be a gradual, not a sudden thing. And it's going to be done under the guise of something else. Because if not, I think America's kind of lose their crap, right? So. I agree with NRN. You would be shocked at what state health department already knows about you when they call you and ask questions following a stay in the hospital. Yep. Do you think Biden might resign? Very, very possible. I predicted that within a year and a half that he would be out. They're putting out so much conflicting info to keep everyone confused and arguing amongst each other. That is the biggest problem in our country. When all of this started, when they started the shutdowns, I said, and I quote, I did a morning coffee video about it. The biggest danger right now is conflicting information. You don't know what's right, you don't know what's wrong. You don't know what's propaganda, you don't know what truth is. We have no truth in media, it seems like. And if you find a source, they snuff it out. And so if something really bad happens that's for real, how do we know if it's real or not? We're living basically like Fahrenheit 451 in those times, pretty much. Censorship, though, is not coming in the form of burning books. It's coming in the form of the internet. The burning of information, the destruction of historical monuments. And so, and both sides are guilty of it. Both the far right and the far left are guilty of it. You know, I remember when, you remember when they were saying, they were claiming that ISIS was on the Mexican border to Texas, and they showed footage of all these, like, this arsenal of bullets. They were tracer bullets at night, saying that this was happening in Texas right now. And all it was an exercise somewhere off a base. And you have what you call fear merchants. They want you to be afraid so they could sell you the shirt, so they could sell you the website. There's a guy that I literally unsubscribed to today, Viking Preparedness. He moved all of his decent content to Patreon, and his YouTube turned into, oh man, some really bad things are happening. You got to go to my Patreon to find out. By the way, here's my, you know, code for, you know, so much off of flashlights for your firearms. But oh man, some really bad things are happening, but only the privileged people willing to pay me money are gonna find out how to do that. I was like, boink, unsubscribe. I don't mind someone making a buck off their information. I don't mind that at all. It's when you create fear to sell your product and you force people to have to buy it. I agree, Donnie Luke. Oh man, you guys are commenting like crazy. I apologize. I don't mean to pull a James Best and be 20 minutes behind. Let's see. It'll be faster than the first. That's kind of what's happening in Australia. Stay 10 feet now, says Salty. Wow. Better get your 10, 11, and 12 meter radios. Government can jam them. It's called FUD, Southbound Fear, Uncertainty, and Doubt. Yes. Let's see. Aaron Lewis's new song, Am I the Only One? Worth listening to. What has happened? Our freedom of rights. I should be able to choose. You know, so far you can still choose. Look, there's an illusion of freedom, right? They're going to use the social court, the social justice court, you know, because people can't stay in their own business anymore. So they want you to be ridiculed, you know, just kind of like on the YouTubes. I agree with that day cab gear jammer. Just have a question. If all millions of people had passed away from virus, why is the funeral filled to capacity? There's a lot of unanswered questions that I can't get into because I don't have any answers. All I know is what's in front of me, and all I know is what's being said in the press and what's not being said in the press. Evening, Oaster. I'm going to send Daniel to your house if you don't buy my shirt for $500. Daniel knows where I live, I think. You know, most of the channels that I'm following now are mostly like self-improvement because I need a lot of, look, I don't know if you guys know this or not. I need a lot of help. I'm not right in the head. Alright, and I haven't watched that yet. It's always the invisible boogeyman. Well, I think that kind of started with 9/11. You know, it's interesting, this World War II documentaries, the two that I've been watching, have been really interesting to see how the war flared up in Europe. It's also interesting to see how the public is manipulated for a cause. So my answer to that is, don't be the guy or gal that's easily manipulated. If you're emotional and reactive, you're easily manipulated. Bob G, does anybody realize how scary it is? We were even talking about this? Yes. I live in a van down by the river. I did see a report that there's an increase of RV people. They're selling their houses, they're buying land, and they're buying RVs instead of just making a small house. Less money. A lot of the people that live in the tent cities, the better ones, will find an RV in a parking lot somewhere and live cheaper. Watch The Greatest Story Never Told. I finished a book called The Fourth Turning today. That was kind of interesting. I agree with you, James Bass. I agree with you. We could easily sell both of our houses for a profit right now, get some utilities out to our land, and live in an RV. I could do that. What's an RV, like $200 or $300 a month? Depending on what you buy. I'm sure Jeff pays more for his, but I'm talking like maybe a 38 footer. Or even smaller, really. Or buy a school bus and gut it. And do what Dump Truck Bob's doing. Donnie Luke, so the real estate agent, because I'm dealing with selling a house right now. Real estate agent told me that this housing bubble's a little bit different. They are predicting it to burst, but not in the same way it did in 2009. So a lot of people that are buying homes right now are first-time buyers. They're not leaving a house to buy a house. And a lot of corporations are buying up whole neighborhoods. For example, a friend of a friend was offered a job for Amazon in the higher up department, and Amazon's buying everything. A lot of these companies, if you're one of the first few people to help settle a new warehouse, whatever, they'll buy a house for you. Or they'll rent. They'll buy houses and use that as kind of like a B&B just for the company to save on hotels. But a lot of first-time home buyers, and they want land. They don't just want the house. My mom's houses went for sale with an open house Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, there was 4 offers. Monday morning, the closing date was acquired for a cash offer. That's how quickly this stuff is selling. There you go. See, I was right, Big Rig. Yep, it was 3 acres, 2.6, I think, to be exact. I have 39-footer parked next to me at the pool. That's where me and OTJB are hanging out. I wish I was hanging out in the pool. It was a hot day today. buy a used semi with a big sleeper, appreciate the rig off in 36 months. I would, you know, RN, I would actually look into that and just have my wife quit her job and we can stay on the road, let the kids tend to the house, you know? By kids, I mean like teenagers, right? But you can't haul 90% of what I haul with those big ARI sleepers. Those are more meant for specialized, kind of like what TRC does. You get some, and some get in a bidding war and sell for well over asking price too. Yes, that is true, Jeff. That did not happen this time, because basically what we did was we said, as is, offer us cash, there'll be no inspection, there'll be none of it, you know, to make the process as easy as possible. And we only had to go down 10,000 from the original asking price. And that's because we got simplicity, no contingencies, other than showing us what you had in the bank. You're eating all the bad stuff, Jeff. Oh, I meant to just limit. Oh, okay. Well, I'd rather have a, for a better price, I think you can get the 38 footer. Our neighbor just sold for 75K higher than asking. Wow. I'm a family guy. It wouldn't last long. Yeah, probably. I've talked about, you know, we've talked about me getting a new big Volvo, like what Provost has, and having the wife come along with me a lot. I don't know, I'm just not having as much fun out here as I used to. House only listed for 2 days. You can do music tours in a big sleeper truck. Yeah, but you need music to promote. You know, I put in a pinned message of Apnea's Bandcamp link, but Dorothy from Kansas. Are you satisfied with the money you make? Yes and no. I don't sit there and wish I can make more money. I know how to get more money. For me, it's about balance of freedom and being able to pay the bills and not put much of a strain on the family, and putting some extra money in cash. I bought some vacant land. I'm throwing the RV on it. There you go. If your wife got a CDL, you could stay all at Like Trucking. Well, I'm not planning on leaving Like Trucking. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. Should make it a campground. Here's what I wish I would have done. A couple of years ago, a buddy of mine gave me the idea of buying a piece of land, gravel it, put a fence around it, pay for truck parking. Especially if you can find a small carrier that wants to put their 10 or 12 trailers there, you can make a killing. I'm going to turn on the APU. It's freaking hot. There's no breeze whatsoever. since I never acted on that, there's literally 4 brand new lots where people have done that in Springfield. Can you believe that? 4 guys that had more smarts and money than I did, and now are raking in the cash because those 4 lots filled up like that. Because there's a lack of safe parking. I mean, you go all the way to Stratford, but those 2 truck stops fill up pretty quickly. The McDonald's is kind of the Flying J fills up at 4 o'clock on the other end of Springfield. So, you know, and then, you know, there's a lot of CDL holders in this area because of Prime and all the other truck companies that are here. And so, you know, there's a lot of people that need parking, and they need safe parking, and I wish I would have done it. I could probably still do it to a certain degree, but yeah, and the bigger city you're closest to, the better. You know, 100 a month is low. And then, like, there's a place called Bob's Parking out in Stratford. So if you go to the TA that's full and you can't get a spot, and you can't get a spot at the Loves, you go to Bob's Parking. They're only $10 a night. So you actually save money if you know, instead of reserving a spot at the TA. It'd be cool to own a KOA campground. Yes, that's a good way to save money if you're traveling too. Yeah, till someone drains the oil in the gravel, then you have an oil spill to clean up. Well, you know, I'd hire one of the kids to be security there, make sure that doesn't happen. Yep, I stole James. Look, if James Best can do a live feed for hours with an empty chair, I can do 5 minutes, right? I meant hauling for concerts of other bands. I have some friends that do that. The problem is those guys that do those tours never see home time. And I would love to do that. Like, you know, Salty Pirate did that for a while. I've got a friend of mine, Eskimo Sean, an old school trucking YouTuber that did that. A friend of mine that passed away recently, he used to do that. So I could easily get in that world if I wanted to. Do you drive all the states or only where you think they pay more for your loads? I look for consistency. So Midwest pays the best, especially on short runs. Now, if you get a long haul to Washington or Oregon, you know, it depends on what rates you get out of there. But I primarily stay in the same areas, never more than 600 miles away from the house, but a 1,000-mile circle. So, you know, if you go from Dallas to, say, Columbus, Ohio, that's 1,100 miles. You know, but I'm always still within 600 miles of the house. Beetle Bailey holds concert and trade shows. Look, if I was at Landstar, that would be the field I would want to get into, because those were the people that made the money there doing that stuff. I know a couple that had the big ARI sleeper, and they hauled everything for ESPN. They did Monday Night Football, and they did NASCAR. You know, so they were constant. You know, their husband and wife lived in that truck, and they did really good. And they had like a massively nice trailer, like a $60,000 trailer that had everything you need: lift gate, logistic posts, E-tracks, ramps, security lighting, security cameras. This thing was Fort Knox. I went to CDL school with a guy who worked at concert tours until he had a stroke. He was a good dude. Well, that sucks. My uncle had a KOA campground in Arizona. He's retired now. You know, and look, if like a lot of these Missouri campgrounds, they have it's not uncommon for someone to have a 38 or 40-foot camper, and they're the managers. So if you need something, you go to them, right? And think about doing that as a job. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think that would definitely be worth the price of admission of buying a camper. What happens if you're a company driver and your truck breaks down but your load was due the same day? What happens? Do you get in trouble? No. If it's not your fault, you don't get in trouble. Depending on the size of the company will repower it while they put your truck in the shop, and then they should be paying for your hotel and downtime. So. I can't believe we're already at 51 minutes and I've literally talked about nothing. But you know, those specialty niches, those are, sometimes they can be difficult to get into. You got to know somebody that knows somebody, kind of a deal. So most everybody I know has their own authority or carriers or some other business that they own. There are a few non-trucking things I'm working on, but nothing that's going to get me out of the truck at this point. So best part about lives, yes, it is definitely a time killer. No, we don't do junk food, Dorothy. You probably know that. I will say this though, you can do pork rinds with salsa and shredded cheese like nachos. Basically keto-friendly nachos. You can do that. So I guess that would be my answer. That'll be my splurge. I think other trucker James Best should change his video channel name to Nacho Master. Chicken ones I'd like to try. "51 minutes just getting started." I'm definitely not the guy that can do. I think the longest live feed I've done was 2 hours. And that's because we're about to wind down and someone fired me back up. And it was funny. If you go to James Best's channel, his last live feed was 10 hours. If you go to the very beginning of that live feed, he says that I'm going to talk about this FMCSA. Other than that, I've got nothing else to talk about. Every single time he says, I've got nothing to talk about, expect an 8 to 10 hour live feed. Yes, I have. I've actually seen a couple out in the wild, those new 680s. They're pretty snazzy. That and the new Peterbilt 579s, like Ratman Roden got, those look pretty snazzy too. But as of this point in time, I have no plans to buy a new truck yet. How about James changed his channel name to Nacho Average Trucker? LBC, that is perfect. How do you feel about the 100% digital dash? I don't know. I don't mind digital dashes. I had an all-digital dash in the rental car that I took home from New York. It wasn't bad, but the only dashes that the gauge clusters I don't like that I've seen is the Internationals. I hate the way they look. I know a guy that has an old school Peterbilt that bought all digital dashes. It looks pretty cool. No, I've not seen Australian Kenworth 610s. There's some technology I like. I mean, I'm old school trucker by heart, but I'm definitely you know, savvy to some of the new modern technology things. Like, I don't mind a GPS. I don't mind using Google Maps. I do have an Atlas, although I need to update my Atlas. But I literally have not pulled that thing out of where I keep it up here in months. You know, and that's the thing. I've been around enough. I can go from Phoenix to Allentown, Pennsylvania without looking at a map, without needing a map at all. What was one of the best things you've seen out on the road? Any special place? Yes, Montana. I did a several drop delivery of fireworks through Montana one year, and it was absolutely stunning. Stunning. Beautiful out there. Hail Rider, quit accidentally doing stuff. I did a video on that Montana. I only got like 3 of the stops down. I wish I could do that run again, because I would definitely do a lot better job with the GoPro on it than I did. Yes, RN, you're not blocked. Hail Rider just accidentally deleted your one comment. Have you seen any places that have come out in movies? I'm not sure what you mean. Hammer of Justice crushes you, overpowers. What's that from? Anybody know that line? What song that's from? I want restitution. Restitutium. If we know what restitutium is, then we will do that, RN. Oh, restitution. Oh, okay. Just giving you hell, Rick. Am I ready to move to Mars? No. Mars is a planet that was annihilated by either nuclear war or a comet. Or not a comet, an asteroid. And they won't show us the ruins because it'll freak everybody out. If you want to get into the whole conspiracy theory thing. I was an accounting and tax major, not an English major. And Mars, to me, looks like Wyoming. That's what it looks like to me. Iron Maiden or Metallica? The quote is from an Iron Maiden song. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, Metallica song, Justice for All. The new Iron Maiden's gonna kick butt, little Viking coach. I might have to change the banner back here to the new one because Samurai Eddie is badass. They used red lenses when they photographed Mars. Do I like going to the zoo? Yes. We have a membership at our local zoo, and so we get in for free. Who do I coach? You win clout. And I'm still thinking about doing a call-in show, but I still got to figure out how I'm going to make that work and make it sound decent. Snorelord shirts, Daycap Gear Jammer. Okay, so here's the deal with shirts, right? I cannot get an artist to do anything for me. That's been a curse my entire life. I tried to hire so many people to do apnea logos for me. And I tried to hire so many artists, including my own family, to do artwork for album covers. And for the life of me, I can't get an artist to do anything. Okay? Artists are like deer. They only want to do what they need to do when they want to do it, right? So the apnea logo came about, the one that James Best loves a lot, by a scribble that one of our bandmates did based off an idea that I had about how I kind of wanted it. I took that to our bass players at the time, brother-in-law, who did the rest on the computer, and it was fantastic, okay? So I decided I wanted to do a Snorelord logo so I can do shirts, so I can do coffee mugs, preferably coffee mugs. And so I put it out there on Facebook, hey, I need someone to do a logo, and I put 2 logo examples as a sample of something to that nature that would look cool. Crickets. People have sent me websites to fonts, okay? I can do fonts. I am the font master. I can get on my computer and do the font thing myself, okay? I wanted something original, but still heavy metal looking, but still legible. There are guys out there that will do a black metal logo. It looks like a pile of tree branches. That's not what I want either, okay? And the sad part is I have family members that are artists. I have friends that are artists. I am in contact with people that do whole comic books, and I'm willing to pay. And no one wants to do it. No one can do it, or they don't want to do it, or nothing. And so I wait. Now the thing with those logo creators is that you have to pay them if you want to use it commercially. Well, if I can have something original, I'd rather pay for that versus the same thing that someone else can put out. So that's where we're at. I would love to do that. I would love to get that ball rolling because I get a lot of people wanting shirts and coffee mugs and hats. And I even have access to people that make shirts at a decent price. You know, I've been dealing with shirts for a long time with the band. Or bands, for that matter. But I can't find an artist to do what I need to do. So. No, he won't, Little Wayne Coach. I've already talked to him. Yes, my trailer payment is very reasonable. Well, the Snorelord logo I got is based off of some marking that Metallica did where you can make your name in Metallica's logo. And I don't know if, number one, I don't know if I can use that commercially. And number two, I want something original. Not like Metallica wannabe. Yeah, I agree, Daycab. Pale Rider says, I put the word out last year trying to get someone to come up with a new logo and got nothing but crickets. Did you try Fiverr website? No, but I just remembered about Fiverr today. I was listening to an audiobook that's talking about how to build your YouTube channel, because I don't know how to do that either. And the book talks about Fiverr. So I did click on a link though earlier, and it came up with the 404 kind of deal. Daniel says go to Fiverr. What's my budget for the art? It just depends. You know, most artists will give me a rate. You know, I had an artist do. I finally was able to hire somebody to do an album cover for Apnea, and he was reasonable, and he did exactly what I wanted, and it looked awesome. That's for The Great Ruiner, which if you click on the link that's pinned in the comments, you'll see that album cover. And that guy's well known. He's very busy, and he was able to do it. The 18-wheeler game you were talking about last time is called Big Mother Truckers. Yes, there's that one, and there's 18-wheeler. There's two. Mother Trucker kind of follows more of a business model than just, you know, trying to go through different levels and hoping for the best. I know you like the logo I got now, but I don't know if I can use it commercially there, Mr. Best. I want something that looks better than that, though. Wouldn't you like something that's closer to the Apnea logo that you like so much, Mr. Best? Fiverr is 2 R's. I know. And it's not like I'm picky either. Thomas Wilson, how are you, sir? No, I don't have my guitar with me. You're sleepy. Are you still at home? I'm sleepy too. I need to get off here and call my wife, and that meat I just ate just hit my gut, so it's gonna be tough to sleep tonight, I think. You're in Indy? Tell you what, Mr. Wilson, coming back from Columbus, I took Cincinnati because I-70 was shut down completely, so I dropped down 71 to 74. And that was so much faster, even though it was like 50 miles more. No, I haven't even started something. That's going to be my next book. Because I'm kind of over the whole self-help books right now. I gotta get my head into something different. Not that I don't like self-help books, but I'm absorbing some of the information, but not all of it. So I think I just need a good distraction, something that just kind of entertains me for a little bit. All the time, Dorothy. They ask me for money all the time. There was, in fact, when I was parking today, there was a lady, looked strung out, had a sign, and the sign says, all I'm asking for is for someone to act like they even care about me. And so when I pulled up, she looked rough. She looked really bad. When I pulled up, she just kind of looked down, put in these kind of fake tears, and then slammed her sign down. You know, wouldn't look at me at all. And it was an act for the lights, right? Because when the light turned green, I saw her pick up the sign again. When the light turned red behind me. Did you see where the truck fire on Mount Eagle? No, I did not see that. But I'm glad that book's a good read, because I'm gonna I'm going to finish this YouTube book, and then that's going to be the next book I'm going to tear into. At the pilot, wow. Was it? Well, couldn't have been somebody's brakes that caused that. All right, we are almost at an hour. TA. Dorothy TA. Better parking. More old school. There's a few good Flying J's out there, but like for example, if you're going to park in Joplin, Petro's the way to go. Or the Big Apple. I asked the lady at the bookstore where the self-help section was. She told me to go find it myself. By the way, Jay Shetty put out a really good video today about procrastination. I thought it was really good. Which trucking YouTubers are you subscribed to? Oh, Dorothy, all of them. All of them. Every single one. I will say this though, the YouTube trucker landscape has changed massively. It used to be all vlogs with footage of driving and music and all that stuff, and now it's all talking head stuff like this and live feeds. 22 car pileup and 8 dead in Utah sandstorm. Wow. That's why I'm happy in my little running area. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, hit the thumbs up. If you like heavy metal music, go to the pinned comment, click on that link, download some stuff. It's cheap, it's easy. You can sample it for free. As soon as I can get an artist to do what I need them to do, I will have maybe some stuff for sale. Fester, what's up? Nevada Trucking and Trails, what's up? Someone else giving advice on someone else's self-help never made sense to me. Who would you say is the most well-known trucking YouTubers? Oh, I don't know. Our circle is the same group, but I mean, there's some YouTubers out there that have a lot more subscribers than our little circle that nobody ever talks about. So I would say Indiana Jack. Happiness by the Mile, yeah. You are late, Fester, you are. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm gonna call my wife. And yeah, little guy is pretty famous. You guys be careful out there, be observant. And no worries, Fester. It ain't a contest. Head on a swivel, be observant. Bug out, plan B. And don't procrastinate. Later.